Welcome to the tutorial for learning to cite a website in MLA format. To find the appropriate format, go to Mrs. Newman's page and click on MLA Citation. Then, scroll down until you see Websites. This tells you the information you will need to complete a website citation. Think of it as a formula. Items like capital letters, quotation marks, underlining, periods, and commas are very important. You must also include your website's information in the correct order, along with the correct punctuation, to be successful in citing a website. Sometimes, especially when you're first learning to cite a website, it may be wise to use a chart to help you map out the correct components you need. You can find this chart here. Notice how the chart sets up in order exactly the information you'll need to find in your website in order to cite it. Once you find the information, all you have to do is add the correct punctuation. Let's try a sample. Perhaps you are doing a report on Australia, so you visit a website to research information. Here is one you may come across. According to our citation chart, the first thing we will look for is an author. Unlike books where there is typically an author, and he or she is typically on the cover or front of the book, websites do not follow these same rules. More often than not, you will not find an author for your website, but it's best to scan the top and bottom of the website to ensure no author is mentioned. If you cannot find an author, as is the case with this Australia website, you are allowed to skip it and move on. This is the only piece of information we can do that with. So we will leave this box blank or put a slash through it to indicate no author was given. The next item we will look for is the title of the work. This refers to what you are actually researching, and it can be compared to a chapter from a book. Look for words that look like a title. Maybe they are in a bigger font or bold. In this case, it's safe to assume our title work is Australia Travel Guide. It is typed bigger, in bold font, and it appears just above the information we will read. So let's go ahead and add Australia Travel Guide into our chart under Title of Work. Next, we want to know which website the Australia Travel Guide came from. This can be compared to looking for the title of a book. In the previous step, we found the chapter, so to speak. Now we want to know the bigger picture. Usually, look at the top of your website. Often, this is where website titles will be. Sometimes, as in this case, our website title stands out because it has its own logo, like this one here for World Travel Guide. If you cannot find a website title, you can always look at the web address, or the URL. See, World Travel Guide is actually written as part of the URL, so we know it's the website title. Let's go ahead and write World Travel Guide into our chart under Website Title. Next, we are going to look for the publisher or sponsor of the site. Just like books have publishers, so do websites. This is who is responsible for allowing this information to be published online. It can also be who owns the rights to the information you are reading. Most of the time, the publisher or sponsor is listed at the bottom of a website. Often, you will see this listed next to the copyright symbol, which is the C in a circle, as in this website. Here, we can see the publisher is Columbus Travel Media. So let's write that in our chart under publisher or sponsor. Please notice the abbreviations above this column of the chart. If we could not find the publisher or sponsor listed, we must note this by writing N.P. in our chart, which stands for no publisher listed. We cannot leave this box blank. Next, the MLA formula asks for the date of publication or the page's last update. This can be tricky. On this Australia travel page, for instance, the only date we were given on this entire page is this one, 2011. Since no other date is given, we can just use the year to satisfy this part of the chart. Sometimes you will find no date. In cases like these, you will need to write the abbreviation N period D period for no date given. Once in a while, you may come across an instance like this. Look at the dates given for this page on the Bahamas. We are given a span of years from 2008 to 2011. Since we have no way of knowing which year the information was posted, we cannot just guess. In cases like these, we will treat it as if this website has no date and use the abbreviation N period D period instead. The next part of the citation is simple. It asks for our format. When we're using websites, this is always our format, so we will simply write web in this box on the chart. We're almost done. Next, the MLA formula would like to know when we access this website. This is not something you'll find listed on the website itself. Since websites change frequently, it is important to note when you view the information. All we have to do is write the current date, but please note how we write it. We write it backwards, day, month, and then year. Let's fill this in on our chart. Today when I am citing this, it is the 14th of August, 2011. So we will go ahead and write in 14 August, which you can abbreviate, in 2011. Please notice that we do not write the number 8 for the month, we do have to write it in words. And the last thing we need to finish our citation is our URL. All you have to do is copy and paste your website's address, or what we call its URL, into this part of the chart. You can find that here. Simply copy it and paste it into your chart. We've found all our information. All we have to do is take this information and now write it with the correct punctuation. When we write our citation, we write it just like a sentence, only moving to the next line when we run out of room on the first. So, let's try it. We didn't have an author, so we got to skip it. The next thing it asks us for is the title of work, which we found to be Australia Travel Guide. They are asking us to put it in quotes. With a period. Next, the title of our website, which we found to be World Travel Guide. This time it asks for us to underline. Again with a period. Next, it asks for our publisher or sponsor, which we found to be Columbus Travel Media. This time they asked for a comma. Next, they wanted to know the day, month, year of our publication. Since we only found our year, that's all we can write. Then a period. Our format was simply web with a period. Now our date, remember how we write it. Day, month, and then year. 14 August, which you can abbreviate, 2011. Please notice that I did not put any commas. When we write the date backwards like this, we do not include a comma. Period. And the last thing we need is our URL. We add a bracket, which looks like a less than sign. Paste in your URL. Add your other bracket, which looks like a greater sign, and a period. If you did not like the way that looked because you left a blank space, you can always separate your URL at a punctuation mark, so we can separate it maybe even here. And there you go, a completed citation in MLA format for a website. The more often you cite websites, the easier it will become. Keep practicing, and soon you won't need to start with the website chart, and you'll easily be able to cite websites on your own. Always keep the format in front of you when citing. There is no need to memorize it, and having the format in front of you will help eliminate mistakes. Happy citing!